Bonjour, donc aujourd'hui nous sommes lundi 23 janvier 2017, en route pour le premier testing de la journée qui est à 11h. Je quitte Stellenbosch après 10 nuits passées ici pour aller vers le sud du côté de Hermanus. Ici aurait été périlleuse. Hein.
Make yourselves at home and get a cigar. That's facing exactly north at the mountain with the rounded top. And yeah, house. I built the house in 1990.
So it won't be much about wine today because I visited only one winery. This afternoon the winemaker started to pick, so I had to cancel the appointment I had with him. But here we are in Manus, and it's beautiful. Like everywhere else, this country is beautiful. Good morning, so today we are Tuesday 24th of January. 5 tasting are planned for today, so it's going to be a long day. I just arrived at my first appointment, which is Bouchard Finlayson. Let's go. So the... Oh yes, Pinot Noir this. When are they picking?
Next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Nice. Hemel and Aarde.
correct. That's very nicely done.
So it's divided by 3 small subregions.
Small subregions.
Hemel and Aarde, Upper Hemel and Aarde, and
Hemel and Aarde.
Aarde Ridge.
Rich. Correct.
And of course they are different, but is it in terms of soil that they are different?
I think so, but look, if you're going up towards creation, our climate changed as well. Look, Hermanus in general is one of the coolest wine growing areas in the Western Cape.
Basically, Hemel and Aarde is the coolest area
Yes.
with a moderate summer compared to the rest of the Cape,
Yes.
and a strong influence from
From
the
the
ocean.
cold near the Atlantic Ocean, yes.
The soil here it's clay.
Mainly clay.
What brought you to that specific region? Because compared to the rest, it's quite unusual. And you were one of the first one with Anton.
Russell, yeah. Yeah. I was not good working for somebody under another winemaker. So after 3 years at Boschenbau,
you worked at Boschenbau?
Yeah, nobody wanted to come here because it was an unproven area and there was no winery, etc. So I studied for 1 year in Germany, postgraduate, and I realized if you can make wine in Germany, you can make it here. The climate is might be a little wet here, but I never looked back. I took on the job, so it gave me my own winery at the age of 31 years. and built the winery, and we never looked back. It proved itself for Pinot Noir from the first vintage.
When you arrived here, they were already making some wines in Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Did you just follow what the others were doing, or did you decide on your own based on the soil and the weather what grapes you would grow?
No, nobody had made wine here from Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So we first of all had Pinot Noir, and then we had to smuggle in Chardonnay because the material was not available. It was very limited. There was not good Chardonnay material in South Africa, so we smuggled it in from USA and from Germany, which is illegal. There was a big government inquiry some years later. And,
before 94, right? That was before 94.
That was before 94, yeah. So in 1986, 87, they had a big inquiry, and we had to go to court and
oh, really?
but fortunately nobody got charged, yeah.
Because your winery opened in...
First vintage 1991. C'est bon.
You speak French?
I did 3 years of French at school, and then eventually the teacher called me and she said, I want to see what your other marks are. So my marks for mathematics and science were all very high, and French was very low. She says, you are wasting your time in my class. So I think if you want to learn French, you must learn it on the pillow. Yeah.
14 was difficult here too?
14 was the wettest vintage we've had. Yeah, so.
I got a few versions of what happened in 1994, but I'm not sure I understood it properly. So basically before 1994, the government was the only one who had the right to produce alcohol and sell alcohol, basically.
There was regulation in terms of who may grow grapes, and that came to an end in 1986, and that regulation changed, and then you were allowed to plant wine anywhere, and if that regulation had not changed, the study could not establish itself. Yeah.
Quel beau temps, on se croirait en Bourgogne ou en Normandie, j'hésite encore.
So this is the upper Hemel and Aarde Valley. When you went past La Viège, you came into the upper Hemel and Aarde Valley. Bouchard Finlayson is Hemel and Aarde. And you know what Hemel and Aarde means?
Yes, it's a
heaven
and earth.
Yeah. So here you can see the whole of the upper Hemel and Aarde Valley. We've got nice granitic soils here. Okay, and this is our vineyard. This is the Wind and Sea, the Pinot Noir vineyard that is so famous. This one.
So it's not clay here. It's unlike the Hemel and Valley. I don't know how to pronounce it. They have clay over there. Here they have granite.
They have clay and Bokkeveld shale.
Okay, shale.
Here we have clay and granite.
Is the Atlantic Ocean, and you've probably heard it a lot of times today in the valley, that just when you go as a tour guide to Cape Point, the tour guides, they will tell you that the two oceans, the Atlantic and the Indian, meet at Cape Point.
Yes.
But of course, you look at a map
It doesn't make
and you
sense.
Google Earth it, you'll see that the southern tip of Africa is still that way.
Yeah.
And so this is still very much Atlantic Ocean. So through summertime, we have a wind blowing off the ocean. It's like our giant free air conditioner. And you know, in a country where we understand how important coolness is for making fine wines, every degree that we can win in terms of coolness helps us a lot.
Yeah.
So, for example, I was in Stellenbosch in Cape Town yesterday. I know that our temperature on my vehicle reached 33 degrees, got to the farmers 25. So it's a whole 8-degree difference, and that's very huge. I think you're the luckiest as a winemaker when you're so confident about your terroir that you don't have to do tricks in the cellar. All you need to do is you need to get that dirt into the bottle.
It's well born, not well made.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm going to start my 27th harvest as a winemaker, and I still make my own wines. I don't have an assistant winemaker, so the wines you taste this afternoon are going to be my wines.
Okay.
Broadly, 2 types of soils in this area. The one is derived from Table Mountain sandstone and Cape granite. So those grey rocks that you see over there, when they weather, they make a very sandy soil. So when you go into Alheit, you'll see quite how white
and how sandy the soil is. That's the one group, Table Mountain Sandstone, Cape Granite. The other group is what we call shale derived soil. So in our case, Bokkerveld. Bokkerveld is Afrikaans for goat pastures for some other reason, I don't know why, but it's Bokkerveld shale. And of that Bokkerveld shale, we have 11 variations of that soil on our farm, and then 3 variations on the very upper reaches, but very little amounts of the Cape Granite. The Bokkerveld shale are much more clay rich, sometimes very shallow topsoil, only that deep. So the yield on the grapes and on the vines is very, very low. We have to do with between 28 and 35 hectolitres. So it's almost sometimes Grand Cru style.
Yes.
But that's what we make. That's our production. That's fine. So what we have is the Hemel and Aarde Valley. It's Hamilton, Russell, Bouchard Finlayson. You get the upper Hemel and Aarde Valley, Sumer Ridge and Newton Johnson. And you get the ridge, the Hemel and Aarde Ridge, and that is ourselves, Creation and Domaine de Dieu. But we actually see more similarities in the 3 wards than we see differences. We don't really see the point of it. But, and to be honest, I think we'd be better off without, off the record, without, we don't need those you know, when you think that, and I love Burgundy, and that's where a lot of my sort of soul is. So when you look at the writings about Gevrey, the earliest writings, they were written about, you know, sort of 1,350 years ago. We have a history here of 43 years of planting. It's like less than 2% of the time that Gevrey has had to discover not only its terroir, to communicate wine culture, viticultural culture, the role that wine plays in culture. We don't have that. And yet now already at a very young age, we've hardly been born, and we want to start atomizing and fragmenting an area that is anyway not really well known. To me, it's a moot point. I think it would be stronger if all of us were sort of saying, you know, well, we are in the Hemel. But anyway, the great thing is that the ridge is cooler because of our altitude. And certainly we are the last to harvest Pinot Noir, for example, in the entire Hemel and Aarde.
One of my pet hates is getting water in the wine. So this is the next batch. We're going to press probably tomorrow morning now. So this is very typical Paardeberg. Yeah. Paardeberg is the granite mountain in the Swartland. This is a good example.
So this is from Swartland?
Yeah, from Paardeberg in the Swartland. So we brought it in on a, you know, we've got these trailers and trucks and stuff. This is Paardeberg Shannon. This is typical, very small berries.
Can I?
Please.
Everyone told me it's so nice.
Thank you. Well, this is an example of how do you say les échauffés?
Le réchauffé.
Le réchauffé. It's too cold.
So when did you start it?
I started the business in the first vintage was 2011. Yeah, 2011.
Speak a little of French.
A little bit. I did some French in high school.
And did you do the vintage in French as well?
Yeah, in Bordeaux actually.
Just get the chance to meet up with Chris Alheit. Wonderful guy, the kind of winemaker you really want, you know, to sell his wine. I met only very great people. I mean, every day I met great people, but today I had a lot of good wines. I tasted a lot of amazing wines, and I feel just so great. So I just finished with Chris, and now I'm going to Creation Wine that just arrived here. And I have to say that Hemel and Aarde, so far, all the wine I tried there are really the kind of stuff that I enjoy. So voilà, let's go. Le soleil est enfin sorti.
So this is the Art of Creation.